Hello everybody, this is going to be the ACT text and question analysis for the article Tess from the novel The Tess of the Dubervilles, and we'll go ahead and get right into it. We'll look at each paragraph in this text and then we will look at the questions individually. So the first thing we do need to notice is this is prose fiction, that style of writing, which means it's going to be a fictional piece, a story. Oftentimes these pieces come from greater classic novels, which this one does, Tess of the Dubervilles. I'm sure translated from French, probably. And the interesting thing about these texts is that you're getting them out of context because it's coming from somewhere in the middle of this novel. We don't necessarily have any idea what's going on before this selection, this excerpt, and we don't know what's coming afterwards. And that is going to come into play with our analysis of these paragraphs. So anyway, the first paragraph, it's hashtag Dairyman, who is, for all intents and purposes, a farmer. He gets a complaint about bad butter. It tastes like garlic. The second paragraph is hashtag all go to the meadow to find the tiny garlic plants. Very hard to find. In this text so far, we have a farmer who's received a letter of complaint from a customer saying his butter has a tang and a twang in it, meaning it tastes bad, and meaning sour, bitter, something like that. And this is very upsetting to the farmer because garlic is a plant that cows will eat that will sour the milk and sour the cheese and sour the butter, all the products that come from the cow that they make and sell. So this is very problematic for him, and he has everybody go out into the meadow to try and find where is the garlic. In the third paragraph, it is about they all form a line and search every square inch of the field looking. They're looking for the garlic. It's a very monotonous, very tedious process because there's a lot of acreage. As you saw in the opening picture, that's a meadow or a field. Something like that, they would have had to go through that and look with a microscopic eye and try and find these tiny little garlic plants. Paragraph 4 is we're introduced to some personal characters here. And there's a guy that has the name Angel. His name is Angel Clare. And he's a single guy. And he's flirting with Tess, which is something that I've inferred from the passage as I've read through it. Because he goes up to talk to her. And interestingly enough, her reaction to him talking to her is that she defers to other girls that are milkmaids. Probably because she has low self-esteem. Because he comes up to talk to her, and right away she's talking about, maybe you want to go off with these other girls. Interesting. In the fifth paragraph, she is now upset with him and snaps at him. I have made the inference that perhaps she's very insecure. I have not read this novel. I don't know anything about it other than this excerpt from the novel. But there are questions that are raised. Very interesting and kind of abstract dialogue between Angel and Tess, because she is trying to put him off, saying, go marry one of the other milkmaids. I'm sure they're better for you, perhaps. And then she's upset with him. And I think just trying to figure out where this is coming from is maybe she's insecure, but I don't know that for a fact. So, are we ready for the questions? The answer needs to be yes. Question 1. As the passage states, the reason the butter has a twang is because A, a cow has eaten garlic. It's actually basically right there in the text. It's a detailed question. And my reasoning is as the cows eat, the grass and the plants of the field, and then they produce milk, and milk is turned into butter. So a customer bought the butter, tasted that garlic in it, and sent a complaint letter to the farmer, the dairyman. Question 2. It can reasonably be inferred that the characters view the search for garlic shoots as a task that is H, quite dull, but something that demands everyone's participation. As I look through all of the answer choices, which is a solid strategy for you when you're working these ACT passages and these questions, it's really the only answer that works. So basically what I did is eliminate the other choices. And if you were to pause this video, which I always encourage you to do, and look at F, G, and J, hopefully you would see the reason why H is the correct answer. Question number 3. It can reasonably be inferred from the passage that garlic presented such a nuisance to Dairyman Crick primarily because of which of its following traits? Answer is B, is pugnancy. Line 6 talks about the pugnancy of it, and it's one of those things where you kind of got to have some kind of an idea that pugnancy is a word that is associated with bad food or drink, because the meaning of pugnancy is having a very, very strong flavor or smell that has a negative connotation to it. Pugnancy is not usually used in a good sense. Number 4. The passage states that Tess claims Izzy Hewitt and Reddy Priddle are superior to her in all of the following aspects except their F, ladylike nature. It is stated specifically in lines 91 and 92, and the answer is right there. Number 5. It can reasonably be inferred that Tess views her statements and behavior during her conversation with Claire with a mixture of D, resolution and sadness. There's a lot of inference questions in this text, so I could see why it could be challenging if you didn't kind of understand the interpersonal dynamics going on here. But the best answer is D. She's kind of resolved and she's got some sadness in her. I kind of coupled that up against what I was presented with choices A, B, and C, and D is the correct answer. Number 6. The passage states that Dairyman Crick became aware of the twang in the butter as a result of H, a letter directly expressing a customer's complaint. It's directly stated in line 5. It's an easy question. It's right there, and there's no reason why anyone should get that question wrong. Number 7. The distinction the author makes between the characters' everyday actions and their actions in the search is that the search A renders their individual differences less important than their pulling together in the common task. This is the strategy, again, of using the other answer choices against you or comparing them together. And I eliminated the other answer choices because A is the one that fits the best. And understanding the overall context and meaning of the passage, you would see that A is the best answer for number 7. Number 8, as used in line 86, the phrase coloring up most nearly means G, blushing. This is a vocabulary and context question, and this is such a great example of context. Girls would be embarrassed and modest and shy around available men or boys. So coloring up within the context of this passage would be blushing. You've got to understand what's going on in the story. And if you do have a sense of it, you would definitely know that they were blushing. Number 9, the statement, quote, she gave the other 3 every chance, end quote, functions in the passage to support Tess's view that D, the other milkmaids, are more suitable companions for Claire than she is. I will tell you, this is a difficult question. The reason for that is because it is referring to the character's viewpoint. You've got to get inside of Tess's head and mind to know that D is the right choice. I will tell you it was a difficult question for me as well. And finally, question number 10, the author considers, quote, marry one of them. Don't think of marrying me, end quote, to be a statement that F. It exposes the high level of competition Tess feels with the other girls. And you know what? This helps bring to bear, even though it is a difficult question, the understanding of Tess's emotional reaction to the whole situation of talking to Angel, is that there is a high level of competition, and if you eliminate the other choices and combine that together with the overall context, that is your answer choice. Difficult text overall, because you're definitely taken out of context, but those are the analysis of the paragraphs and the questions, and I do appreciate your time in viewing this and listening to it. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.